If you are someone that has been wondering why social media feels a little empty, sometimes even a little fake or toxic, I think the conversation has been around for a little bit where a lot of people feel like we only highlight the good moments in social media. And I've been curious and reflecting about the subject as someone that works with social media. I am super happy to be talking about the subject. I want to share my perspective after reflecting about it, ideas on how we can start approaching social media to feel better and to inspire others. If you are an action taker, someone that questions and challenge the norms, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this video. Um, yeah, let's do it. I think we can choose to just wait until someone else do it, or we can be the first trying new things and exploring the different options and opportunities that we have now with social media. So welcome back to another video. If you have been following my channel, if you have been watching my videos, you probably know that I'm starting a business guided by my intuition, and I've been sharing everything that I've been experiencing in the process of starting a new business guided by my intuition, which, as you can imagine, when we decide, when we choose to follow our intuition, we have to work through through all the parts of ourselves that sometimes stand on the way of listening to our intuition. So I share all the insights, all the breakthroughs, and little by little, I've been sharing a little bit about the business. Now you know this little portion of my business. I am a creative. I've been doing marketing for a few years now, and in the last year, when I started my business, guided by my intuition, I started working with clients in the space of social media, and probably in another video I will be sharing more about the work that I've been doing with this client and more details about the process with the business, which is still evolving and changing. So let's now, for now, dive into this super fascinating subject of social media. The reason why I see social media can feel a little empty and fake and even toxic for a lot of us, it's because even when we are sharing the happy, positive moments of our lives, we are not sharing it from a place of vulnerability. So that's one element that I see, and what shows me that is that if we don't even have that level of vulnerability to share the positive, these people are not going to be able to share the challenges, because in the moment we want to open up to talk about our challenges, I think we all understand that it requires a lot of vulnerability. So I want to explain the way I see social media, that way you guys can understand all this subject of how we can share with more vulnerability, and why it is so important, and why it's the key, and why it can be the most powerful way of using social media. So the way I approach social media, and especially when we are talking about um, personal accounts and personal brands, um, we understand that if we have a personal brand, our account is public. And of course, for brands and for businesses, all the accounts are public. But let's go to the space of personal accounts and personal brands. Some people have still, I respect that, um, their private accounts, right? But I think most people have a public account. I think a lot of us, and I'm including myself because for me also has been a process, we have been approaching social media, our public account, as a private account. And the thing is, like, we're still learning, we are still figuring out what social media is and how we interact with social media and what that is creating in our lives as humans, right? So we incorporated social media 12, 13, I don't know how many years ago, 15 years ago maybe. Oh my God, there was a mosquito, there was something in my Jesus Christ. Okay. From the moment we started incorporating social media, we have been seeing many behaviors, many outcomes, right? I'm not gonna get into that because I think we all are aware of depression and all the negative stuff. But it also, we already know that it has created, especially I want to say I'm including myself in this group of people, but for people that we live far away from our family and for our friends, it's been beautiful to see how we can still stay connected, right? So there's this element of connection that we receive from social media. But the funny thing that I find, that I see, is that for a lot of us, we continue using social media as we only interact with our closest friends and our families. People that have 3,000, 5,000 following, I see that they still communicate, express themselves, share their content as they are speaking only to their closest friends or their family. So it's just, it's just one of those funny things. Like, we didn't take a class of how to use social media, have been using it intuitively. And what's happening there is that the interaction is still strange. I don't think people that has a public account is realizing that 5,000 following on your phone and your account is the same idea as you are at a festival, or let's say at a small town, and you are wearing this cute bikini that one day you felt inspired to take a selfie and share it on your social media, on your Instagram account. When you share that picture of you in your cute, beautiful bikini on your personal, your personal account, your public personal account on social media with 5,000 followers, it's the same idea of you standing on a small town with 5,000 people looking at you. It's the same concept. Of course, there's not the personal, the physical interaction with these people, right? But you have 5,000 eyes looking at you, right? People that you might not know, people that, yes, probably 100 of them are your friends and family, but the rest of the people, you don't know them. How you speak to the 100 people that are your friends and family is probably going to be different than when you speak to 5,000 people that you don't know. Do you agree with me? Right? If you are doing a speech for a wedding of, many people that you probably only know 50 of them, the tone and the way you're going to communicate probably is very different if you are going to a wedding, you are going to do the speech of a wedding that is only 100 people that you know very well. It's the same idea. We go to the example of the cute girl wearing a cute bikini in a town with 5,000 people. If we think that instead of writing a caption, you are going to use a microphone, so the 5,000 people that are looking to you, they can hear you. Would you say, look at my cute bikini? Look at me? I think we would say something different, right? We just haven't seen social media that way, and that's very much what it is. We are standing up in the middle of a massive ocean of people looking at us, and we still don't treat people as that, as people that are looking at us, our personal lives, or our lives, or our creativity, or talents, or intelligence. So the relationship we have with our audience is still kind of interesting. I'm not gonna judge. I think it's just, we are changing, evolving, a lot of things with technology, artificial intelligence is happening, and it's opening up all this perspective to us. So how, from now that you have this perspective of what really social media is, you want to approach the moment you share the things that you want to share on your personal public account. Sure, at this point you are also realizing that the key it is in sharing with vulnerability and giving some value to people, right? If I want someone's attention, the other example that comes to my mind is like when you're walking on the street and there are some people sometimes on the streets giving you flyers about different things. Like, I'm sure you have felt like you want to receive a flyer from someone that is, hey, how is it going, how's your day going, I have this super nice thing to share with you. But people that are just like, look and take it, like, you probably don't take it. It's the same energy. It's the same energy. So vulnerability, it is a beautiful thing, but at the same time it can be a very scary thing for a lot of us. And in the moment we practice it, the more we practice it as anything else, we master it. And I see that vulnerability, if even in those moments that we are just sharing something as simple as our beautiful bikini that we are wearing, I think the more we practice sharing with vulnerability, what we really think, what we really are experiencing. I think it was one of those big bees, what was in my bag. The easier it will be for us when we just master being vulnerable. So if there's one day that we are experiencing something that is challenging, it comes natural for us to say, oh yeah, I'm going through this challenge and this is what I am experiencing. So the problem with sharing in social media challenges, I think we can look at it from different places. We are still, as I've been saying in this video, learning and understanding what social media is. Social media is a social context. The same idea that I've been saying when we go out and we want to socialize. So if we have that idea clear, if we understand that once we go on social media, it is in a space that it is a lot of people are there. It's like whatever we put, it might be seen for a lot of people, it might be watched for a lot of people. So if we come with that awareness, think of like I like to use the analogy of whatever we do in social media, try to think of an example in real life. Think of when you are going through a challenge, how do you talk and where do you talk about your challenges? Some people might think, oh, I only like to talk about my challenges with my best friend, with my mom, and I only like sharing this much. Some other people can be like, okay, I can't even talk at a meeting about my challenges. I feel super confident and comfortable sharing with everyone whatever is going on with my life. So for these kind of people that are very open, I mean, they are very vulnerable too, in some cases. So for them, probably it is very normal to even go on social media and do the same thing. But if you don't feel comfortable going on social media, it is going to be very awkward. The same way it's super awkward if in real life you go to a party, an event where there's a big group of friends and you start talking about your challenge and you start shutting down. It's awkward for everyone. Everyone feels, weird. If you want to talk about your challenge, probably you want also to say, like, when we have this emotional charge, like the reactions of people can go in many different directions. Some people, we already have learned a lot about mental health and self-development, so I think you guys will be able to understand this. So some people that are emotional mature, they can hold a space very easily for anything that's going on. If you're crying, if you're having a breakdown, they will be super fine being there with you, holding the space for your experience. But a lot of people don't have that ability. So that's what we need to be aware of. That's the same thing in real life and the same thing on social media. So the challenge is in social media is that we don't know who's watching. So we have to be prepared. We have to have the awareness that whatever we're going to share on social media, we need to make it way more digestible for people. If we just go and cry and we just say, all the things why we feel so miserable, that's a very weird energy. People just don't want to watch it, they don't know what to do with it, and probably they just won't want to follow you anymore. Same idea if you are in the middle of these 5,000 people and you just start crying and you just start saying, oh, I hate life. People don't know what to do with that. But then you're like, okay, I'm just, like feeling overwhelmed, and this is what I'm feeling. I don't know where I'm going, but I just want to share how I feel. That's another energy. I want to share. That's coming from a place of vulnerability. This is how I feel. It's inviting. That creates that container for other people to feel empathy and to maybe feel like, oh my God, I have gone through the same experience. Maybe I can share what has helped me, what has worked for me. So the one thing that I want to emphasize, I hope this idea is clear, is like, of course we all can go on social media and be vulnerable and we can share more about our real selves. We just have to be aware of how it works, how social media works. Social media is like that big stadium, that big theater of thousands of people looking at us. Not everyone is at the same emotional state. So if we want certain response from people, we want to create, we want to marinate, we want to feel into what we want to get out of us sharing. It's just like if we think about artists, a lot of art is very like every single piece of art. I want to say is moving. It moves emotions. But if you think about a really good piece of art, there's a lot of intention behind that piece. They want to move a certain emotion inside of you. They want you to get somewhere. They want to take you on a journey. It's, and we are talking about social media as that platform where we all can express our creative expression, and you don't have to be an artist, right? But I do think, and I think the video in my invitation is to be a little more intentional in how we relate to social media, how we use it, especially if we feel the call of what social media can be more. I want to do more, right? So I think I'm giving you a lot of information. I hope it's giving you some inspiration, and you're getting some ideas of how we can truly use social media, what social media truly is. And I think it's a time for us. It's been a while that we have been using social media, and it has so much potential. It can be so powerful. Now let's just like look at one of those examples when we are doing the sharing on social media from this place of vulnerability. Think about that image that I was giving you of someone around 5,000 people saying very vulnerably, like, God, my heart is broken. This is what I'm feeling. Very openly, not wanting, you know, coming from intention of just sharing, not trying to get an outcome from people, because that's an energy that we all can feel when people are trying to sell and manipulate on social media, right? When we are just like, this is what I have right now in my heart. This is this is my experience at the moment. If we are doing that in the middle of these 5,000 people, what's going to happen is a little bit of what I said already. Like, when you're coming from that place of vulnerability, it's so magical. When we open the door, other people come from that place as well. When we share exactly what we are experiencing, other people have those moments of, oh God, I had that same experience and this worked for me, or maybe I could have done that. So people connect truly from that same place, and just it's just a ripple beautiful effect. whereas a lot of, we can say, healing transformation happens not only for ourselves but for others. So that's the power we have in our hands of how we truly can use social media, how far we can go with social media. But again, we have to be the curators. We have to create first our intentions and practice. I mean, if you're new to being vulnerable and you're feeling so inspired and by this, start with your small group of friends, you know, little by little, until you start feeling like, oh my God, I can truly open up my heart and just let everyone see what I'm experiencing. And you're going to find out a lot of this magic that it's just like the words are short for me to express all the things that we experience when we open that door of our hearts. You start finding parts of yourself that you never have seen. And it's even more potent when we do that with others, when we let others see what our hearts carry and the depth of our hearts. It's like when we see that, oh my God, other person feels similar, felt or went through a similar experience, that collective energy, that how can say, that collective energy, it's so powerful, it's so beautiful. And we get to do that if we want on social media as well. So if you from now on can start seeing your personal public account as that space where you are in the middle of so many people looking at you, and start reflecting a little bit about how from now you want to start using your social media. And maybe if you want to share this video with other people, and we all start doing it, I can imagine, you know, in a year how social media can be. And I'm sure you have seen other people talking about something related to what I'm saying. Like, this is like, I'm not talking about anything new. I know a lot of hearts, a lot of people have been feeling the same. And yeah, just I hope you feel inspired, and I cannot wait to see what you guys do, how you start approaching and using your social media. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. It's love.